We do. Can I pause this real quick? So we're doing just a live test real quick. 1, 2, 1, 2. We got people getting on, and that's what's up. What up? What up? All right, we got 12 viewers. Yo, yo. You got to check volume, man. I'll be saying I can't hear me. I got to make sure the volume's on point. Y'all should be able to hear me good this time. Y'all should be able to hear me real good this time. We switched mics and everything. I put a little more stuff into it. I know you can see me. Okay. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to answer some of y'all questions, man. We got a lot of questions last time. And I made some posts on Facebook, if you're in the Facebook group, and on YouTube about asking questions. So we're going to do that. But first, we're going to do this. Okay, as soon as we can get our autofocus to focus, because there we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. I want to start with a few questions y'all had, man. Y'all had some really, really interesting questions, and I got them here so that I can pull them up and see them as we talk. As I check out a few things. You see, I got a little reverb going on. I know exactly what that is. Cool. Let me bring that down just a little bit. Perfect. Okay. We got no more reverb. All right. I got some questions that y'all asked that I want to kind of go over. I'm trying to figure out why my autofocus has chosen not to focus on me, but it wants to focus on the background. Okay. So now it's focused on me. So let's start with the first question that I got based off those who submitted questions on both platforms. And Mr. Roos asks, he says, so I do promo, corporate, video production, but besides all that, I also do wedding videography because it gives me consistent cash flow. Is it okay to promote both types on your website, or should I create separate brands for wedding videos? I'm gonna have to put it in manual focus. Give me a second. The quick answer to that, because whenever I look at it, for some reason, it jumps into it. And I kind of got it this way. So if I hold up a product, it'll focus on that product like it's doing my hand, or should do my hand, and then come back. But that's why I don't like autofocus. But make a long story short for this particular question, listen, you have to have separate sites. You're going to confuse the mess out of your clients if they have to figure out what it is you do. You need to have a website dedicated to each thing you do. It will make life so much easier. It'll make your sales go up by 50%. Definitely. All right. So doing corporate, you will lose clients because corporate clients don't want to hire wedding photographers or videographers, and wedding videographers don't want to hire corporate clients. They just don't. That's just life. I learned that the hard way over and over again. And like I said, you'll be surprised how when you'd be surprised at how when you get hired, you'll hear them say stuff like, oh, we got a bunch of corporate photographers, ha ha ha, or we got a bunch of wedding guys. So that's something you don't want to do to yourself. You're going to lose 50% of your potential clients by having one site that lists everything. Pick 3 things. Listen, I want to make something clear. When I tell you to pick 3 things, I'm not telling you to turn away all the other stuff. I'm saying focus on 3 things. If somebody want to give you money to do something different, then still get it. But you need to set up your brand to focus on 3 things. Some clients will see that and realize that you can do multiple things. A lot of clients won't. So don't turn away the money from the people. Just have your site dedicated to these 3 things. All right? Give me 2 seconds. I like to go live with it. Bet. All right. So I want to kind of answer the questions. I'm going to get into the questions you guys post on the side. I want to answer the questions from those who submitted on our, website first. And then I will answer the questions that you guys post. So give me a second for those that are posting in the room. Because I had guys who posted questions all this week. And I want to make sure I get to those guys first. Another question is kind of a long question. From Roombani. It was posted on Facebook. It is a long question. We're going to get into it because I feel like it was a valid question. And I feel like it may answer a lot of questions that you guys post. He said, hey, Ty, Flash Film Media Family or Flash Film Family. I know Flash Film is mainly about the business side of creative work. I have a couple of questions. For context, I'm getting into documentary filming, YouTube, video interviews, corporate videos, and short films, plus shooting footage for video effects work since I do 3D animation and motion graphics too. I also want to try my hand in full-length feature films once I'm comfortable and found people who can help me finance some of it. Okay, so that's a lot, but we're going to keep rolling. Number 1 question is, I'm in the market for a camera or 2, my first ever. I've only ever used decent cameras at my former job that I lost. That's a whole other story. I've already decided to get the original Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Budget constraints and preference. No, I already have vintage lenses for these. Needed to start somewhere, and vintage glasses are perfect for your budget, but great specs. I have an option to get 2 cameras or 1 camera or a set of 3 bicolor LED lights with soft boxes from Newer. What would be the best move? Dual camera setup or camera and lights to start with? That is such a easy question. I'm going to answer for you. 1 camera and lights. Lighting will do way more for you than multiple cameras. In fact, a lot of stuff that you watch on TV are single camera shoots. A lot of shows that you watch on TV are single camera shoots. It is a whole lot easier to edit. Post-production is just so much greater when you have 1 camera to focus on. Even if you go back and get multiple shots, even if you reshoot multiple angles, even if you go and get a close-up of an actor talking and then get a wide shot of them saying the same lines, it's so much easier. When you get into 2 cameras, you got to start getting into syncing them with time code and different devices. For time code or audio syncing, it's a lot. It'll put a strain on your computer. The camera you were thinking about, which is this right here. This is the Blackmagic Pocket camera. This is the original one. I picked one up for about $300, and it was just a steal for 1080p. It's a good camera. However, this is a good camera for about $300. If you got $1,000 to spend, you may want to look at, if you got, no, I'm going to say 1,000, because you got 1,000, you might as well jump into a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. But if you got a little less than that, keep in mind some of the older, like A7S2s, A6400, A6300, I'm sorry. Those 2 cameras are cameras that I would really keep an eye on. This camera is great. It has limitations like low light and things like that. It will give you a very cinematic look, but it is a hard camera to jump into first. It is a really hard camera to be your first camera. It's a really hard camera to jump right into. Volume is good. Okay. Let me see. I got comments coming in, guys. I'm going to get to them in a second. Let me just go through some of these. Real quick. I see you, Rachel. Because I do 3D graphic work, I need a computer upgrade. That would be wise to get either camera or computer upgrade. My current rig is slow. It can't handle much. It took 12 hours. Okay, so he's pretty much saying that, listen, be mindful of what I'm a Mac guy, right? So PC guys will spend a ton of money, probably sometimes less, creating something custom. Let me explain why I like Apple products. Just for me, right? I have no relation to them guys, but I'm gonna tell you why I and a lot of other creatives who do high-end work choose Mac. Macs are way more efficient, right? They usually cost more than PCs, but you get so much more out of them because at Apple they only have a handful of graphic cards that their operating system works with. So it's going to maximize every single graphic card that has been chosen to work with that operating system. Whereas Windows, there's 1,000 graphic cards that are available, and the goal or the hope is that you can get good performance out of a graphic card that may not have been specifically designed, or they may not have had great communication with Microsoft to make sure you get the most out of that card. It's up to whoever creates the drivers. And with that, some companies do great, some companies don't, and it's hit or miss. And with Windows, every piece on your computer is like that. Every modem, every wireless adapter, everything is just like, we sort of made this to work with everything. So let's hope the drivers work well and don't interfere with nothing else. And that's why you usually have more problems with Windows than Mac, because Mac, when it comes to Apple, they specifically choose what hardware works with their operating system. They fully test it, and they have a relationship usually with the developer so that they can get the maximum performance out of that hardware. So for me, and it's the same with iPhones. I was a big Android guy, and I'm not knocking guys who got Android, but gosh, I use half the memory and it'll be slow as I don't know what. Meanwhile, with an iPhone, you can run it into your 99.9% of the memory, and it's just smooth. And when I had a situation where I remember one time somebody called me, I had like a Note 3 or whatever, and it was a business call, and it would not let me answer the phone. It would not let me. I don't know if I had too many apps open or what, but it did it a few times, and I ended up losing that client because they were calling to confirm last minute, and I couldn't answer the phone. And by the time I called back, they were on the other end with the other guys closing the sale, and I lost money. And that's when I switched to Apple, and I've never looked back since. So that's just my personal preference. It may be different for you. I don't know. I'm just saying my experience with it and why I chose what I chose. It's just my thing. It's just my thing. And working in the military, all the creatives in the military had Macs, and they just worked. So I'm not endorsing that brand. However, I'm just speaking from my experience as to why I like what I like. It may be different for you. Let me go through a few more questions. I just had the question thing open. All right, here go another question real quick. Real quick, I just see a question come up. Best website, Wix or Squarespace? I use Squarespace. I don't know why they haven't called me for to monetize my channel or get an advertisement, but I use Squarespace. If you look at flashfilmmedia.com, Squarespace is what I use. All right, let's get into another question real quick. Louisiana, what's up? Okay, I'm in the process of trying to find out what type of photography is best for me. How should I position my website when I'm trying different styles of photography? Also, should you add your photos on social media accounts with the current agreements that are in place as far as them having access to your content, even if it's copyrighted? Okay, let's answer the first question. You got to decide what you want to do. It's just like a kid, right? They got to decide on what they want to be when they grow up. Because if you decide to be a carpenter or you decide to be a pilot, your directions are completely different. There is no way to stay in the middle and gain at both at the same time. You have to figure out what it is you want to do. And what do you love to do? To me, it's an easy question. What do you love to do? Don't go after the money. Don't go after what you think is a lot of business in your area. Go after what you love to do. I guarantee you there's going to be more business in the area than you think of. But you haven't positioned yourself to be the expert at that, so they don't come knocking. You have to know what you want to do, and you have to go after that. You got to. Should you add your photos to social media? Well, the thing is this: if you don't know what you want to do and you haven't created a brand behind that, how can you create a social media channel or a social media page to upload your pictures to? A lot of people mess up. I'm gonna be honest with you. 90% of you guys mess up and don't have success because you haven't defined who you are and you haven't defined what your brand is. Coca-Cola can't advertise for a soft drink unless they determine what it is. Okay, Coca-Cola may develop, I think Pepsi may develop Mountain Dew. Okay, who likes Mountain Dew? Usually like surfer dudes and skateboarders, like that's their demographic. Sprite goes after a little more of an urban feel, basketball players. Mountain Dew, you see skiers and skateboarders, and you know what I'm saying? You just look at those two brands, Sprite and Mountain Dew, and look at who they go after, but they know who their demographic is. So you have to determine who you are, and you will save a lot of money and a lot of time once you nail down who are you. You got to know that. You cannot get out here and not do it. Real quick, Ebony Stories. Hey, big shout out for the super chat. Since you got this big old green thing on my screen, I'm going to answer that question before I get back to the other questions. I own a FS5 and an A6000, 2 zoom lenses, 1 prime, and a shotgun mic and a boom pole, as well as a softbox lighting kit. Is that enough to start a business? Yep, it was enough. Even if you remove the FS5, one of the zoom lenses, it's enough. You could start a company with a A6500, a good mic, and 3 lights. That's all you need. A good camera body. You can go get a 5D Mark II. Get a Zoom recorder, a boom pole, a mic, and good lighting. Spend more money in lighting than you can shoot everything with a 50 millimeter. You can shoot just about everything with a 50 millimeter. Unless you're shooting sports across the room, you can definitely do that. Don't think you need 20 lenses to get started. I wish I can tell you I use every lens I bought. I don't. I want to say 75% of the stuff that I shoot is with a Sigma 18-35. That is my go-to favoritist, is that a word? Lens of choice. A Sigma 18-35 is the truth. F1.8, it's a crop lens, which it doesn't matter because most cameras are super 35 unless you're shooting on full frame and they've tricked you into thinking you get more, that extra bokeh is worth it. But Sigma 18-35 is the truth. This here is the Sigma 16 millimeter 1.4. I got it wide so you guys can see what's going on. Plus I like the shallow depth of field because you can see my icons without reading my social security number back there. So it works for me. I don't have my social security number back there, but okay. I got another super chat, so we're going to go to that one before I go to the next question. Let's see. How do you calculate pricing when you charge? Okay, pricing is, man, listen, I'm not going to BS you guys. I'm not going to BS you guys. Pricing is difficult, right? And I wish I can tell you it was a one-size-fit-all thing for pricing, but there's so many parameters into it. In the course, in the master course, I break down how to evaluate your situation to have a competitive price. Because I don't even know if you're in Thailand, if you're in Nigeria right now, or if you're in Tennessee. Like just knowing that alone changes a lot. However, some people like to charge based off their hourly time plus their camera kit. I don't do that, right? I look at it in the short term. What do I need to make to show up? $1,000? Okay, my first hour is $1,000. And then what is each additional hour? 150? Cool. So now I can tell you for your video shoot, for us to film it, if it's 4 hours and I'm charging $1,000 for the first hour and $100 just for math purposes for each additional hour, it's going to cost you $1,300 for us to shoot for 4 hours. If we go over that 4 hours, it's $100 an hour. If it's we go over 15 minutes, then it's $25. Now it's probably a separate price for editing unless you want to include editing. Editing is simple. What does it cost me to fire up my computer and start editing on your project? $250, cool. The first minute is $250. The second minute of final run time is another $100, plus maybe $25 a revision. That may include 2 or 3 revisions. You see where I'm going? This is how I do mine. If you ask a million different videographers, they'll give you a million different answers. The old way of hourly plus camera kit plus quarter day plus half day is outdated. In my opinion, it's outdated. It didn't work for me. When I tried to do that, it didn't work for me. And I got tired of eyeballing work and saying, you want a 3-minute video? I think it'll take us 8 hours, $1,500. And I get there and then we're shooting for 2 days and I'm just SOL. Because now I got to keep a staff on site that I'm paying out of the same $1,500 and we're on day 3. And now I'm not making no money, but my staff is making, I got to pay my staff and I'm going to pay them before I pay me. So pricing is tricky. However, in the master course, I'm going to show you how to look at your environment, and come up with a price that fits. Because you're not going to get it right on the first time. You're going to lose a job or 2 trying to will it in. Nobody's just going to give you their price like that. So it's just a tricky thing to say, boom, do this. A lot of stuff about the business side of things it's just not an easy one-word answer. And I'm not gonna BS y'all and tell y'all. Anybody on YouTube that's like, yeah, just charge $300 for the, because if I'm in California, that price is triple because the cost of living is higher, right? If I'm in New York, that price is probably another, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm in Elyria, Ohio, where the cost of living is a lot cheaper, I'm not gonna charge that. So it's just something you got to think about. But I'm working on things to help further explain how to get that going. Real quick, Jordan, quick popped up with a super chat. Super chats, I'm gonna answer them first because I can see them. I'm not gonna lie to you, it ain't really got anything. They're just blaringly colorful. And even though I'm trying to get back to the original questions, which I will, I am going to answer those because people, that's their hard-earned money, man. You gotta answer them first. I made videos for Selena Gomez and I do Instagram growth video ads. How should I present my business to the world? Okay. That's a little bit of it's a little vague, but I'll try to be as specific as possible, right? So you make promo videos. Depending on what you did for Selena, what product you helped her push, whether it be music or whatever, you do promo videos. You do promo ads for Instagram. Companies need them every single day. That is your niche. My niche is maybe promo Instagram videos for artists. That may be your niche. And Selena Gomez videos, that's your social proof. That's saying, hey, I can do this. I've done it before. This is what I can do for you. So you need to make sure that you present your brand using that social proof. If you go to Flash Film Media, you see 50 companies that I've worked for and created content for, and I haven't even updated that in 2 years. I probably got another 50 companies that I've worked for that I just haven't had time to update. I don't even got space. I don't want to overwhelm you. Even places we've been published, I just don't have space on my website to dedicate to it. I have to kind of pick and choose who I post. Chad, another super chat. Let me get right to it. The key is to reading your customers and charge without giving away profits. Okay. So the whole read your customer thing, you want to be careful of doing that, right? Because clients can determine whether you're just gouging them because you think they have money. You have to have, just kind of for integrity reasons, for me it was integrity reasons, you have to have just your base price, right? And then you have to itemize it, right? When you go into a dealership, you can get a Mustang for a base price. And if you big baller shot caller, you can get the Celine. You can go all the way up and get the Cobra and get the Celine and get the GT. Clients who are in that position that wants the works will do that. But you got to give them, you can't say, I'm going to charge you $25,000 for a Mustang. And then say, hey buddy, them shoes is new. I'm charging you 30 grand for a Mustang, same Mustang. You don't want to do that. However, you want to offer a base price and itemize everything. I itemize for teleprompters. I itemize for multicam. I itemize for recording more than 2 lines of audio. Like, I itemize everything. And that way, people who may not have the money for everything can say, hey, I really want this, so I'm going to find a way to add another $600. And people who have the money for it feel like they're getting a lot and not the same thing he got at a higher price because they have money. So you definitely want to itemize it. Ebony, do Flash Film Academy serve beginners too? Yes. It doesn't matter if you just started taking pictures. Listen, if you're taking pictures of people in a park, you still want to get a model release, right? We make sure we have contracts to cover you on that. You don't want to blow up, not even blow up. You don't even want to advertise your business and you got a picture of a person and you don't have a model release for them because they can come after you. Even if they think you can not be getting money. If you look like you're getting money and somebody's hungry at home, rubbing 2 pennies together, eating ramen noodles, and they see a $20 Facebook ad pop up, their friends see it, and they see their face on it and you're advertising it, they gonna want some money. That's just people. And we live in a world where they sue you for everything. So this little form that, if I'm doing something for you for free and you can't even sign a form for me, I shouldn't even be talking to you. You got to be able to say no. Wayne, good looking out, brother. I appreciate the super chat. Ebony, even though I answered your question, I appreciate your super chat too. I mean, I don't think I mentioned it was a super chat. Man, thanks for the super chat, man. I can't pronounce your name. It's A-Lock. I think I be butchering stuff, bro. Detroit Public Schools, man. But I want to say, listen, just real quick, because I talk on here a lot and I got a lot going on, but because Flash Film Academy is growing and because I've met so many great people, I try my best to make sure I give you guys a lot. I have to do reviews. I have to do product reviews for 2 reasons. The first reason is you ain't got to buy the most expensive crap B&H shoved down your throat to be great at this. There's some cheap stuff out there that will take you over the top. 2, YouTube, right? When you think algorithms, people don't usually search for the videos that have the best knowledge. They're searching for a product and then they learn about me and they're like, oh, okay, this guy's talking some stuff I can learn. So I have to do that to grow the channel. Those are 2 ways to grow the channel. So you got to kind of bear with me on the, sometimes I get good stuff. Sometimes I get good, good monitors and stuff that I really want to tell you guys about. Would I rather do this all day? I'd rather talk to you guys like this and interact with you because I enjoy just the interaction and you guys, get answering questions that you directly have for me. That's my preferred method of running this channel. But in order to grow, people got to search for you. It's a search engine. So people aren't searching for Ty yet. They aren't searching for what's a good way to price your photography. They're searching for what's a good monitor under $200. That's what they're searching for. So Chad said, I understand base price. I guess what I mean is sometimes you need to cut prices to help those who don't have as much. That's a slippery slope, bro. Go into your Ford dealership and tell them you only got $16,000 for a $30,000 car and see if they help you. If you have Square Pay or however you accept payment, they offer financing. Offer financing to your client. You can accept less money. Make sure that on your invoice you put a discount so they know they're getting a discount and not that you're a cheap guy because you can't recover from the cheap guy. Also, it needs to benefit you. If it don't benefit, and I don't mean just the payment, I don't mean the rest of the money, I don't mean just getting them as a client. Maybe they have, I would say maybe they have an establishment or a business that helps your portfolio, but if they can't afford to pay you, they probably don't. And a lot of people can't afford to pay you. They just don't want to because you haven't provided enough value to them. You haven't provided enough value for them to say you're worth it. They're just like, I don't really want to pay this guy. So that's something that you really have to work on, is making sure you present enough value to a client. And that comes with solving a solution where they're willing to pay for it. because 90% of the people you offer discounts to have the money. They just don't want to give it to you. Think about last time you went somewhere and bought something. You're like, yeah, I can pay full price, but I'm not, because I'm going to talk you down because I don't want to give you this whole 100. They'll tell you, they'll break 100 with you, and the price is 100. They'll talk you down to 50 and still hand you $100 bill to give them change back. So you haven't provided enough value. That's the goal. The goal is to find ways to provide more value in what you offer so clients aren't lowballing you. Let's go, Brian. I thought it said Brian McKnight. I was about to say, whoa, Brian McKinney, good looking out. I'm an established photographer in my city. What will be the first 3 steps in starting a media, graphics, Facebook ad, copy, video, etc. company is to cut down on everything you're trying to do and decide on one of those things that offers the other things. You're doing way too much. You got to be one of them. Just think about it. Okay, let's just look at this for a second. Let's just look at this. You're doing graphics, you're doing Facebook ads, you're doing copy, you're doing video, you're doing photography, right? That's 5 different things. Each one of those got subcategories. You can do wedding photography, corporate photography, whatever photography, this type of editing, that type of editing, explainer video. Do you know how much it would cost to market that? That's $1 million. You would need $1 million to make $200,000 in that industry, in that area. You would have to spend $1 million in marketing just to make a quarter of that. When you can just pick a subcategory, spend $500 and still make $120,000, $150,000 a year. So now you can do one of those things, and the clients you bring in, then you can email. Now you know you got clients that need all of these things. You're not spending money to market. You can just email them and say, hey, we also offer this. Now you can do email marketing to a client base that's already worked with you. They love your work. You just informing them that you do more. I'm going to give you an example. I did a lot of corporate event photography, right? I went out and bought a photo booth. I built a photo booth. I didn't even buy it. I built the photo booth because I know that I had an email list of 2,000 people, 2,000 clients that we've done event photography with that had an event coming up, and they probably wanted a photo booth. And you know what? When we sent it out, we booked photo booths like crazy. We booked photo booth. Before I even built it, it was paid for. So that's just me looking at who I have as my audience and then saying, what could I add on what can I do to bring in business? The photo booth brought another $60,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already had the client base. I didn't push it as you know what I'm saying? I created a separate site later, but I didn't start off doing everything. I just took advantage of the clients that I already had. Michael, hold up. Let me go back up. After you define your niche and you have a good portfolio, what's the best way to get in front of the right clients? Not everyone responds to email. You're right. It's based off your niche. Remember how I said, let's say your niche is golf photography. Now you know to go into country clubs and say, hey, how can I get a spot on your email that you sent out to your members? How can I get a spot on your pamphlets that you sent out? How can I get a banner hanging on a wall? Like, how can I be involved with what you do? Once you develop that niche, and if your niche isn't specific enough for you to do that, it's not specific enough. If you're a dog photographer, you can go into Petco, you can go into PetSmart, you can hang out dog parks. There's things you can do once you know your niche. If you don't know your niche, you're going to be vague. Vague costs a lot of money. Vague costs a lot of money. It's, if you create soda, you're going to spend $1 billion advertising your soda. If you create diet root beer, if you create all natural diet root beer, your demographic is small. You know where to go to advertise your all natural diet root beer. And you'll spend 1/100 of what you would spend just advertising soda, or in the D, we call it pop. So, you got to create that niche. It's very important that niche will help you save money and be successful. A lot of people aren't successful because they're doing everything, and they're wondering why they dump $1,000 in the Facebook ads and it's doing nothing for you. You're too vague. You need to be as niche as possible. If you are a poodle dog photographer, nobody shouldn't even be able to breathe poodle photography in your market without seeing you everywhere. So you have to be that niche. Hey, lot, good looking out, man. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Make sure I got everybody. Hold on, let me show, because I got some stuff that's blocked. Nothing wrong with shooting for free if your portfolio is good. The website is most important. Okay, listen. As an exchange, and I got a course on Flash Film Academy that talks about how to make money shooting for free. You shouldn't be shooting for everybody for free. It needs to benefit you more than it benefits them. If I go into if I go into let's say I'm in a dental field, right? I go in the dentist office 1, their office is nice, it's cool. I go in the dental office 2, their office is ridiculous, blown away. Nice lighting, it's just it's beautiful. The women behind the desk are beautiful. The stuff like that matter. The posters on the wall are beautiful. It's clean. It's dusted. That's the place I want to shoot for free, because those images just look great. That video looks better. It's just like wedding photography. You want to get into wedding photography? Find you a beautiful couple that has a beautiful venue and shoot theirs for free. Don't shoot anybody who's available for free. Go find something that benefits you more than it benefits them. Have your contracts in order. Make sure that, hey, they sign everything. You want to treat them like you would a regular customer, except you don't exchange money. Go through that process and get that experience of them telling you what they need, what they want. You want to still solve their problem. You want to use this as practice to offer that solution. But the final footage, you want to use it on your website. You may grab some, like, there's some times where I shot stuff for people for free, and then I went there and shot something completely different from my portfolio. They got what they wanted, I got what I wanted. If you shoot music videos, go to some of these clubs and say, hey, can I shoot a promo video for you in exchange for letting my artists shoot some of their video here? They'll say, yeah. Use that to barter and leverage. Now you got this super club that looks like it costs $1 million. Y'all probably shooting in it at Saturday night at 12 where it's packed and your artist is on stage and now he look like $1 million. But you just bartered your way into probably having an artist that pay you more for a final video, because now they're like, how'd you get me in there? 2, you got great images and video for your portfolio. And 3, that club got a free promo video, and they'll probably beg you to come back out to either pay you to shoot something else or try to barter something else with you. So it's something to think about. Hey, thanks a lot, Chad. Yeah, discount never. Listen, I don't care what you do for a person. You need to post your full price on your invoice and then discount it. Don't ever have them look at the invoice and say, well, last time it was only $200. No, sir, look up. It was $1,200. We gave you $1,000 discount. Even if you're shooting for your portfolio, when you go in there, you still give them an invoice. Hey, this normally would have cost $3,800, but because I agreed to shoot it, blah, 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 for my portfolio to help you out, it's a $3,800 discount. You still need to do the paperwork. Because if they call you back and they say, I want something just like that, and they're looking at it and they're like, oh, it's $3,800. Okay. Now I know, that's cool. How much is this one? Since we shot our portfolio with you last time, we're going to give you a $200 discount. It's now $3,300. They're like, bet. Let's go. Who I write the check to? It works like that. That has happened for me a lot. A whole lot. Good looking out, Wang. Appreciate you. Oh, we got a big question coming up. Let's see. All right, Tina, I see you. I want to service headshot lifestyle content, video and photo for bloggers and businesses in Dallas. Am I trying to do too much? Should I break this down to one niche or build on it? Charles, first of all, shout out because I'm in Dallas too. You should just sell your camera and just like stay out of my way. No, I'm joking. This is the thing, bro. Lifestyle content looks dope, but they don't have budgets. If that's what you love to do, there is a space for it. But lifestyle, unless a company or somebody's hiring you to capture lifestyle of their product or something, it's not much of a budget for that. People don't got money. Businesses got money. I mean, people got money, but businesses have money. I would focus on video and photo for business, especially in Dallas, man. It's too many companies out here, bro. It's too many businesses in Dallas. Too many, bro. It's too many. Definitely. What I do for recommended SEO. SEO is a whole lot easier when you have your niche. It's so much easier when you're niche. When you're vague, it's hard as I don't know what. Like I said earlier, it's super easy if you're super niche. There are SEO companies that can, get you started. I use Fiverr a lot. Sometimes I'll hire somebody on Fiverr to get things going. I would hire an SEO company to handle SEO. Where SEO companies get you, where they rob you and stick you and they don't tell you about, is you go to them like, I want to come up under 85 keywords. They're like, okay, 85 keywords? Yeah, we can do it, but it's going to be $8,000 a month. You're like, what? That's how they get you. But if you go to an SEO company and be like, I want to come up under dog photography in Dallas, they're going to be like, oh, okay, it's going to be $250 a month. Or poodle photography, or you know what I'm saying? The more specific and direct you can get, the cheaper it is and the more effective it is. And they'll be a little happy to do it for you because they know that you're gonna you're gonna be able to come back and write them a good review. It's hard. Like, go look at, if you can, how much lawyers are paying per click for the word lawyer? Man, it's like, I think it's like $200 last time I checked. $200 per click. Family law is like $150. Like, lawyers are paying a boatload of money just so you can, just so you can see them under that keyword because it's so competitive and they got so much money to throw around. So under photography, you think you're going to be able to beat Walmart, JCPenney's, all them companies that's struggling with big pockets who want you to come in and take portraits? Why compete with them? You ain't doing that boring crap anyway. So don't. Let's see. Church videos. I don't touch nonprofits. I get away from nonprofits. That's just me. It may be different for you. I don't like working with nonprofit companies because they try to guilt you in thinking that you're supposed to be nonprofit. That's just me. I'm not telling you to do something different. I'm just saying nonprofits call me. I'd be like, all right, yeah, okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a veteran, so I may do more veteran nonprofits. It's just my thing. It's just my thing. Some people I just want to help out because I can, right? I'm giving out free information here. Some people I may just want to help out. It's at my disclosure. I got the power to do that. You know what I mean? So it's up to you. You may have a special place in your heart for stray dogs, and the Humane Society may call you up and say, hey, we only got $300, but we need 6 videos shot over the course of 8 days, edited by the 10th day. And you may, that song may come in on the shows that come on late at night with the sad puppies and cats with the violin, and you may be like, I'll do it. I ain't doing it. Ian Lewis, good looking out on a super chat, bro. I appreciate, man, listen. I love talking to y'all, man. I love it. I love helping y'all out. If I can wake up every day, all day, and cut this thing on and have these live conversations with y'all to help y'all, I would do it. Sign me up. Charles, okay. He said, so I have like 5 or 6 lanes of photography on my website. I should just get rid of everything and put headshots and lifestyle content for business? Yep. Whatever the 3 things you want to do is all they need to see when they come to your site. Now, get other sites. Get other websites that have that information. I'm not saying delete it. Just make sure that when they come to your page, they only see the one thing. That's why if you look at most websites right now, when they advertise, they have landing pages. You can't even go to the other stuff they do. It's just that one thing they want you to see. That's why funnels work so well. Funnels are just websites that's just dedicated to one subject. And when you click yes or no, it just takes you along that path. That's the only thing a funnel is. That's why they work so well, because people's attention spans are just everywhere. You got 20 pictures. This funnel is a dumbed down, stupid guy website that says yes or no. Do you want to move forward? Are you not buying? If you click no, they give you, why aren't you buying? You should buy because all these objectives were designed to overcome. You don't got the money, we finance. You don't got space for it, it folds up. Like, dumb it down. Dumb it down. That's all. Separate it. I'm not saying delete it, don't do it. I'm saying focus on 3 things, create one website for the 3 things, and then you can have other websites for everything else. At one time, I had flashfilmmedia.com, flashfilmweddings.com, flashfilmphotoboofs.com. They were never on the same. You can go to a little bitty link at the bottom to click it and go to each page, but they were never boom, bang. We offer this, this, and this. Nope. The moment I separated that stuff and spliced it up, sales start going up. Definitely want to do it. Executive. Subscription-based pricing for business or social media influencers. Good business model or no? I just rolled out subscription-based pricing about 6 months ago. You're going to take a significantly less hit as far as what you make for a consistent client. It's tricky. It's a tricky thing right now because we're still at the age where people don't know that they need as much video as they need. It's just like websites in the 90s. Like I said, people, we got a website. Maybe it was boring. Got a counter. People didn't really understand the value of a website. We're at that stage with video production. People don't understand the value of consistent content daily on every social media channel that's specifically designed for each audience on social media. Your Instagram video ain't gonna work on Facebook. Your Facebook video ain't gonna work on Snapchat. Your Snapchat video ain't gonna work on YouTube. You need content for every angle, for every product, all day, every day. Clients don't realize that yet. Subscription models will work in the future. It's just difficult. It's a difficult sell right now, but it's coming. So be ready. A-Lock. I got some, A-Lock, looking out on the super chat, bro. Working on a proposal for a small fashion boutique, high-end luxury, women clothing, usages for web, IG print advertising. Thinking 4K all said and done. What do you think on the price? That's just a vague price. I don't know if you're shooting for 10 days, you're shooting for 2 days. I don't know if you're delivering 1,000 pictures, you're delivering 3 pictures. Itemize it. Break it down so they know what's costing them what. They may say, let's do 3,000 worth of work now and let's do 4,000 worth of work later. The good thing about when you itemize a bill, clients can be like, you think you're going to lose money, but often clients is like, yo, let's double that. Let's triple that. Or they call you back up and say, hey, I remember I seen this for that price. Can we do that again? Like, itemizing it makes you more money than it hurts you. Like, people think seeing everything scares people. It don't. It gives people a clear understanding of what it costs to do this, that, and the other. So that 4,000, make sure you itemize it. Make sure clients know it's just not like photo, video, print, 4,000. It's like photos, 4-hour session, 10 headshots, 2 group shots, 3 lifestyle shots, 10 headshots, $40 each, 2 group shots, $250 each, 1 lifestyle shot, $500, you know what I'm saying? Post-production, teeth whitening, all of that stuff. Make sure you put all of that stuff down. All your post-production, all your skin blemish removal, not each thing, but just, maybe 1 block for blemish removal and photo tune-up. You want to make sure you have a slot for that because people will be like, And like I said, when you itemize it, it makes it harder to lose a client because clients, instead of having yes or no as an option, they got 50 different options. That's why when you go to Domino's and you order from the app, they let you add toppings on it and remove toppings. They let you add certain crusts and they remove certain crusts. Because if they said all our pizzas are $10, you're going to be like, yes or no. But if I can take cheese off this pizza or I can take it from a medium to a small and make it $5, I'll still purchase. So itemize it. Everything around you is itemized. There are very few things that's one size fit all. Even your camera. Sony know, hey, we can just come out with one A7R and it is what it is, or one A7 and it is what it is. But now we got the R version, we got the S version, and we got the regular version. So now you got 3 choices. You can either go heavy on the sensor or heavy on video, but we give you options so you can itemize, and pick what you want and pick what's best for you. We give you, the options to make the decision. So 4K may be a good price if you can shoot it in a day and deliver it with a day worth of labor, maybe. But it's hard to answer that because you don't have a system in place. You don't got the processes and system in place where you can, they know what they're getting. They may have, it's times I work with clients and I itemize it and it'll be $4,000 and the client got a $10,000 budget and they're like, oh, we can do a lot more. Well, let's do this because we wanted that. We didn't know if we had the money for it. You know what I mean? So itemize it. Make sure that 4,000 makes sense when you break it down. Real quick. Let me see. Charles, he says, I'm a veteran. He says he's a disabled veteran, and he read somewhere that if he offer a contract to a certain branch, you get preference to be chosen for the job over the companies. That's a good question. Let's talk about that really quick. So, as a disabled veteran, I know you can apply for government contracts, and you would get preference over standard people. If you're a disabled veteran, if you're a female veteran, if you're a minority veteran, there's a few other things. If you're a combination of if you're a minority disabled, you get even higher than just a disabled. There is a lot of paperwork involved in that. It's not an easy thing. I'm not going to tell you. There's a learning curve to it, but it can be done. The information you need, it's free, it's out there, but you have to present it. You know how VA is. How the VA and how the government is. You have to present it just like you have to have a government resume to get a government job. You have to present it in a way that they accept it. That's the part you'll have to do the research on. How can I present? Because what I did one time was I teamed up with some guys who had a business that was presenting something. They were presenting some type of training for veterans to the VA to get chosen as a contractor for the government. So I partnered with them to provide the video in their whole training idea, right? So they would say, hey, quote us out what it would cost for 10,000 hours of video production. Cool. It's going to be $1 million. All right. And they'll just slap it in their budget of going to the VA and requesting $50 million for whatever idea they had. That was my way of doing it once or twice. But there is a lot involved in going to be a government contractor. There are companies that will help you set up your business to do so, but they're not going to do it for free. They're definitely not going to do it for free. So it's just something to keep in mind. So these productions, creating a niche that no one else is offering. You could do that. If it's a need for it. Listen, Flash Film Academy came out of not being able to find business information. Flash Film Academy came out of me getting tired of finding 1,000 tutorials on how to edit video and nothing on how to price it or sell it or like that's where Flash Film Academy came from. That's how it became my niche. I read a book and thought it was one book I found on filmmaking and I thought it was trash. And I was like, gosh, I've been in this game long enough where I'm helping people. I can help people. Like I couldn't find the information. That's how I discovered this niche. So is it, I can't predict whether or not my channel is going to get 1 billion subscribers. I don't know. However, this is what I love to do. My niche is based off my love and passion for the the business side of content creation, and I'm gonna do it until the wheels fall off. And based on the feedback that I've gotten from people, I may not be wrong. Others face the problem that I face. So your niche may be something that nobody's never done or ever heard of. That means that the whole market is yours. That means that it's what's called a blue ocean. If you read, it's a book I got to post, talk about the difference between a red ocean and a blue ocean. Red ocean is where the fish already ate up. There's blood everywhere. There's no room for, it's nothing else but just blood in the water. A blue ocean means it's there for the picking. Go for it. So you could create a new niche. I wouldn't put it past, you know what I'm saying? Like I met a company that, I don't know, in previous videos I talked about, they go to dealerships and they take pictures at dealerships, and they made a business off of it where they just go to different dealerships, try to get the contract to take all the pictures and images, and that's Come on, 5 years ago, people weren't thinking about that. You could have did that with a Polaroid. The only people who did that was Auto Trader, right? If you wanted to post it in Auto Trader, they'd come to your house, take a picture, blah, blah, blah. But dealerships need that too. They want great images. And they're doing a lot more internet sales. They're doing a lot more eBay sales. People are looking at pictures and buying them strictly off the information provided online. So it's a market for that. Dwayne, I'm a wedding shooter. I'm a wedding shooter. He's moving to corporate and event video. I shoot Sony. I don't have video lighting. Aperture 120D. Can I get by with that to start? Heck yeah. In fact, listen, save your money on the 120D for what are they going for? $500-$600. Go get you some Godox SLB 60s. That's the battery version. They're about half the price of a 120. Or go get you the SL60s that plug in. Apertures are cool. I love apertures, but there's cheaper ways to get the same light. Aperture just got a good budget. And they're sending them to enough people where people like get this, but there's other ways of doing it. Definitely other ways of doing it. Let's see. Somebody asked a question that popped up. Where's the masterclass? The masterclass is coming. I just want to listen. I want to make sure I give you so much with the masterclass that your head pops. I want to make sure that I give you so much with the masterclass that you send me a Christmas card leaning on your Lamborghini. I want to give you so much with the masterclass that I am invited to the family reunion. So it's coming. I don't want to give you no BS. It's coming. I promise you. As of now, we got the contracts. We got the 5 key steps to create a portfolio that converts. Once you get your niche, you get your website. That's the most important next step to make sure you close on sales. So the masterclass is coming. I promise you. What business structure? Sole proprietor? I can't even talk. I do LLC. I am a LLC all day. I'll protect it. There's reasons by that, and there's reasons why I do an LLC. You want to protect your brand, right? And let's talk about this for a second. Let me give you a tidbit hint without giving you too much. If you've ever been through a divorce, we're talking to your old cats, not you young cats. You ever been through a divorce? You ever been through a situation where maybe like child support? You ever been through a situation where you ever been through life? A LLC is protected from all of that. That is the business money. It's not your money. If you got a lien or something, you got something coming out of your check, you're getting sued, whatever, that doesn't affect the LLC. That may affect you, but it doesn't affect your LLC, and vice versa. Somebody sue your business for $1 million. You do not want people showing up at your house, taking your truck and your car and your whatever. So you're protected. That's why LLC is so important, and way more important than the DBA. DBA is just doing business as, and if you are doing business as a different name and that different name gets sued, your property is now whoever sued you for whatever price you can't afford to pay. If you are in court and they're like, yo, you make this amount of money, we coming for it. If you have an LLC, it's not you. It's a completely separate person. LLCs are very important, people. That's all I'm going to get into here. There will be places where I will get deep into that subject. But right here, that's all I can tell you. All right, let me go to the next question. Trying to do corporate videos. Should I upgrade to 4K or can I do it with my DSLR in 1080p? Post game is on point. OV multimedia. Bro, don't swallow the 4K pill. It ain't all that. I can't tell you the last time I've delivered a product in 4K. I just haven't had a client to say, we need it in 4K. It don't exist yet. I was actually looking for an old C100 just to have. I just recently, like I said, bought this thing. So it's 1080p. People are throwing them out the window. They're getting rid of them for $200-$300 like idiots. And I went and bought one. It works. Great B cam to the pocket cinema camera. And come on, it's a 1080p cinema camera that's shooting raw for $300. Do I gotta go into detail on why that's a killer? Okay, real quick. I gotta get to the other questions. I'm gonna answer these too, real quick. Is there a minimum amount of photos that you should have in your portfolio? Depends on what your niches are. I'm gonna say you need to have 10 to 20. Don't do more than 20. Try not to. It's overwhelming. Wayne, I do weddings. I also do business, commercial, music events. 2019, I work at the Essence Festival. I was one of 2 videographers on a Mona Lou. Loved it. How do you market yourself to get more exclusive gigs like this? By being more niche. By being more niche. If you are, listen, there are plastic surgeons that want to do everything, but if they specialize in breast augmentation and they have a website dedicated to breast augmentation, they're going to get a lot of breast augmentation clients. So you want to be as niche as possible. Your niche may be festival highlight film. Your niche may be music festival highlight film. You know what I'm saying? It may be your niche. It may be corporate highlight video. So the more niche you are, the more you'll come up and people will hire you to do exactly that. Plus you have social proof to show that you can do it. It's real important. Real important. Somebody said they bought Jenna Kitcher's class for $1,000. Bad decision. You're giving away more valuable information on free videos than she does on her paid course. I don't even know who she is, fam. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe I need to look her up. Who is Jenna? Jenna who? She got a $1,000 course where she's robbing people, fam? I ain't trying to. That's what happened when they rushed to the master class. Let me just look who this chick is. I hope y'all not messing with me and I don't pop up here and get some adult site and then I'm banned off YouTube because I'm just, okay, she's an education, digital marketer, podcast, hype. She do too many things for me to trust her. She doing everything. Education, digital marketing, podcast, hype woman, overachiever, mama, BFF who bring good snacks. She already do too much for me, fam. Okay, I mean, I guess she's more of a lifestyle person. She's more of a lifestyle person. I don't know if she's doing makeup. She's doing a lot. I'm not knocking her, but I don't. This is what I do to make a living, right? This is what I do to make a living. This is 100% of my money come from this camera. Period. And I'm not doing a shabby job. I'm good. My goal was to make sure my kids was bougie, drinking Starbucks, wearing Uggs, and complaining about frivolous, dumb stuff. And I've achieved that. So, it's what every dad wants for his kids, to make sure they're good. I don't know about her, bro. I've never heard of her. So I'm not knocking her, but I've never heard of her. Ivan, he said, hold up, what camera was $300? Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, the original boy. I got it for like $220. It was in mint condition. Look at this bad boy. Let me see how it look on the camera. The cage was like, listen, because nobody want the cameras, the accessories are dirt cheap. The cage was like $40. Like all of this was like $40. This part, everything, $40. I did buy the lens, but the camera itself was like $220 on Facebook Marketplace, and it came with a battery, and it came with a lens. They had a lens on it that they ain't even want. So yeah, go look for them. It was some church giving it away because everybody's trying to move up to 4K. So, their loss. Those who really love my videos, I really love your support and everybody that helps out and send me stuff and questions, and everybody who tunes in. Man, this YouTube thing is hard, bro. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's hard. You're going to get roasted. You're going to get talked about. You're going to get criticized. They're going to say your camera is crooked. Your volume is this. Your exposure. It's just a rough place to be. You got to have thick skin. But it's cool. I love it. I love all of the good messages I get from people. I love those who sign up on Flash Film Academy and leave comments like, yo, this is mind blowing. Or emails that I get from people that saying, I closed the deal because of this video. Or that stuff makes me feel great. And like I said, you grow when you help others grow. Go find somebody that you can help grow. I guarantee you will grow twice as fast. If you have a child, you know that sometimes like raising your child matures you more than they help you more than you help them sometimes. Any parents out there fully understand that. So It's just life. Is there a market for renting out your equipment? Ebony, yes. But it's tricky. There are some companies that are trying to offer like Uber style middleman where they rent out your gear, they insure it. You want to have your insurance on point. Call your insurance company and tell them I have gear. Don't just get a regular like rental insurance. They will not cover that camera. They're like, we cover DSLRs up to $250. What DSLR do you cover for $250? Well, you should have mentioned that you had a $3,000 DSLR and $20,000 worth of glass. You said you cover camera equipment up to $500. That's an iPhone, not even that. So make sure you're covered on that, bro, because they will stick you. They will stick you for your papers. A lot of questions. Hold up. Dwayne. Yeah, I answered that question, but I'll answer it again. He said video lighting start with an Aperture 120D2. Can you get by with that? You can get by with get multiple cheaper lights. Get multiple, don't go, listen, apertures are dope, right? If you're getting started, go get a Godox SL60 or SL60B, which is the battery version. And then spend that extra money on softboxes. Spend that extra money on ways to shape that light. Apertures are cool because they're sending them to all of your YouTubers and they're all using them. And they're dope lights. Let me asterisk, they are dope lights. They are probably some of the best in the industry. However, there's cheaper ways to achieve that same lighting. If Aperture sent me one, I'd use it too. They haven't. I went and bought Godoxes. So, and I like them. If you look at some of the older videos, I was at NAB talking to all the guys at Aperture. I think they're cool. I love their stuff. I love their products. But there's cheaper ways to do it. That's all I'm saying. Don't feel like, listen, get away from the idea of any brand will make you better, because it won't. Get away from the idea of customers will pay more if you show up with this type of brand outside of maybe a Red camera or an Alexa or something that customers are requesting. High-end clients that want commercials for F-150, blah, blah, blah. They're going to say, hey, we need you to shoot with this type of camera. If your client don't call you and say, we need you to have this type of camera, don't worry about it. And I can say 2% of the money I've ever made in my life with this camera have come from people who requested a camera type. And if I didn't have it, we could just rent it. So I'm not going to spend my money to have it on site when only 2% of my clients requested it. I've shot with Reds. I've shot with Alexas. I've shot with C500s. You know, I'm not going to take on the debt of those when I can rent it, when I can get the same quality for everything else with a Blackmagic, Ursa, or Pocket. That's just me, and that's just my way of doing it. Other people will have other ways. Some people feel like with a Red, you spend 50 grand on a Red, you're going to make that money back and blah, blah, blah. It's just not true. Not in my opinion, it's just not true. How do I pick companies for portfolio work? Let me make sure I got IN. How do you pick companies for portfolio work? Easy. Whoever offers you the most beautiful footage, whoever you can walk in their office and be like, yeah, I can get some dope B-roll in here. This is going to help me. That's the people who, yeah, that's the people who will offer you. That's what you want to do. That's exactly the place you want to go. All right. Let me see. Let me answer one or two more questions I got from that was posted on the website right now, because I got a bunch of them that was posted on the page, and I want to get to quite a few of them real quick. What should a contract look like when you're working for free? They asked, do I have any resources? They don't want to get stung from the start. This is pretty much in regards to the process of targeting big companies to shoot for free while building and tailoring your portfolio. You need to approach a free company the same way you would approach a paid company. You need to approach them with a contract. If they don't want to sign a contract for you to film for free, get out of there, because they're not worth. You got to be, listen, the greatest thing about being in business for yourself is telling people to kiss your butt. Telling people to kiss your butt. Hey, I ain't doing that. That is that is the best feeling for me, is to be like, nope, sorry, we not doing that. I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? So you got to start saying no. All money ain't good money because people will try to get you. It's business. That's why they say it's business. It's not personal. People will get $1 million worth of work out of you for $1. And they won't have no conscience, like no guilty conscience about it. They'll go home and sleep and rock their kids to sleep knowing they robbed you. That's just business. That's the world. It is what it is. That's why you got to protect yourself. Let's see. Another question that was posted. I shoot on a crop sensor. I have a 50 millimeter and an 85 millimeter. I want to more seriously get into photography once I get my license so I can drive the locations to shoot. So should I upgrade to a full frame? Oh man, the full frame question. Let's answer this question real good. Stop believing that a full frame will make you look more professional. That is complete BS designed to make you spend more money on a camera. Period. I'm going to say it again. Full frame do not determine how great you are as a photographer. A majority of sports photographers use crop sensors. Why? Because they get more out of their lenses. A crop sensor on 100 millimeter is usually like 135, where a full frame sensor on that same lens is 100 millimeters, so you get closer to the image. That's why they make 60Ds, or at the time they were making 60Ds or 70Ds. Canon was for sports photography. Stop believing the hype that a full frame will get you that much. It will make you a professional. Now, are there some benefits to it? Yes, there are some benefits to it. But if you're not good with a camera and I'm great with a camera, I will run circles around you backwards up a hill with a crop sensor compared to a full frame. That full frame is not going to make you better. Again, there are some benefits to it, some lighting benefits, some bokeh benefits. But if you know what you're doing, stop. You know what they want you to think? They want you to think you need to graduate out of your camera. You're a professional now. You need to graduate out of your camera and you need to go to this camera. No, master your camera. Crop sensors will get it done. It's just like if you look at Alexas, right? They got an Alexa that shoot 2.5K. Most of the movies that you see are shot with Alexas that shoot 2.5K on a Super 35 sensor that they upscale to 4K or 8K. Alexa. We're talking about 120, not you, Alexa. We're talking about 120. See what happens? I'm not sure about that. See that? See what happens? Anyway, we're talking about $120,000 camera. Think about that for a minute. Don't get wrapped up. You ever go shopping for TVs and you see all this technology and crap you've never heard of? This one has yellow dot print megapixel pop glitches. You're like, what? This is going to make whenever they show water and you're watching swimming, it's going to look better. It's a 500 hertz. You're like, what is this? Just need a TV. A lot of stuff in the camera industry is just that. Full frames they are better at certain things. I'm not going to tell you they're not better, but they will not make you a better photographer. Don't believe that. Invest in lighting. How to land agents as a fine art photographer. Specialize in a certain type of fine art. Agents are difficult. A part of me want to tell you that agents, even dealing with agents, it's an old school method. However, there's a place for them. When you are specialized and you know when you have your niche down and you dominate the market, they'll come looking for you. Yeah, full frame lenses cost even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, why put yourself in a hole just for nothing? You know what I mean? Like, if the speed limit is 65, right? And they made it where all cars can't go over 65. Why are you gonna pay for a car to do 100? It doesn't make sense. That's a bad analogy. However, invest in lighting. Lighting will take you places that your camera won't take you. Lighting will take your iPhone places your camera will not take you along. Your lens won't take you. I can get a T2i on a stock lens and give me the right lights. I will light it and you will swear we're filming James Bond in that boy. Lighting is where it's at. It ain't about the camera. It ain't about they have their place. Lighting is number 1. Glass is number 2. Camera is number 3. In that order always. Now, if you're doing video, you're going to add audio to that. Lighting, I'm going to say audio first. Let's do audio first. Lighting, lenses, body. Give you a great example. One of my favorite shows is the First 48, right? I call First 48 the B-roll masters because they will have you staring at two squirrels fighting in an alley while you're listening to a conversation that's going on in the house, and you'll be engaged like, what happened? Oh, man, I got to hear. Most of that junk is B-roll. Like, they give you some storyline, but First 48, 40% of it is B-roll shots of leaves falling off trees, landing in blood by what happened. It's crazy. Bro, audio, lighting, lenses, camera body. Get your lighting game on point. All right. Any advice on trying to find clients' budgets? If he say just make me a good price. When he say just make me a good price, he's telling you that he is a price shopper. He said, I don't see value in what you do, so lowball it to the point where I may do it. That's what he's saying. I avoid them clients. I don't need you. This is my price. Either you can afford it or you can't. I'll itemize it so you can take off some stuff. Maybe you can't afford you can't afford leather seats. I'm going to itemize it for you, but I'm not going to, it's the price. That's why it's important to have your price structure down and you're not eyeballing it. That's why it's important. There's somebody say I love you page. Oh, my channel. Good looking out, bro. Let me go with another question real quick because you guys have some good questions. Okay, this question's a little long. Here's a question for you, Ty, but here's some background if you don't mind. My main job is in IT. I've been doing videography and photography on the side for 2 years for my church, and people ask for my services here and there. I feel like I have a lot to learn technically regarding lighting, and there may be some other areas I need to grow in that I don't know what to do. He said, but I don't know what I know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't have a website or a good demo reel according to your advice, and I don't know where to narrow my focus. I can choose to focus on producing training videos, event videography, because my experience could transition into those areas. My question to you is, where do I start? Or must I wait for my technical proficiencies to get better before I move forward? You have to start with what you love. People, listen, the reason it's important to love what you do is because you'll never stop doing it, right? You'll never stop thinking about it. You'll never stop wanting to get better if you love it, right? Your job, you probably don't love it because you're paid to do it. You wouldn't just go to your job for free if money stopped rolling in, right? But if whatever you choose and love to do, you probably do it for free. I often joke with my clients and say, I would have shot this for free. You know what I'm saying? Like you paid me to talk to you about it, but the filming is free. I love to do this stuff. So you got to pick what you love. You got to narrow that down, man. That's going to answer a lot of questions for you. You got to narrow that down and choose one thing. Choose one thing. Build a site around one thing. Build a portfolio around one thing and just go for it. I'm not saying quit everything or whatever, but start to build that brand and just focus on that. The biggest problem that a lot of people have is they're everywhere all the time. You can't win that way. You definitely can't win that way. Another super chat. These good looking out. How do you figure out interest of audience in your niche so that you can target them for ads? What kind of research do you need to target? Once you figure out who your audience is, once you know listen, you should be able to describe your ideal client down to a car purchase, to shoe type. Okay, let me give you an example, right? Let's go back and use the golf. I want to do golf photography. I want to go to country clubs and capture people who take pictures and take pictures of people while they play golf so that they can frame it or whatever. That's just what I want to do. Commercial golf, right? I know that people who play golf have a certain level of income. It's not a poor man's sport. It's not like basketball. Golf, you have to have some money. Even if I do lacrosse, lacrosse is not a poor man's sport, right? Hockey is not a poor man's sport, right? So if golf is my thing, I know where those people shop at. There's a ton of golf stores. I started to research golf companies, look at who their ideal client is. A male between the ages of 35 and 65 with annual household incomes of $70,000. You know, they usually drive luxury cars or luxury sports or cars that are over $50,000. They usually, you know, have executive level jobs or middle class on up. I mean, those are things that I know that I can pop into Facebook and say, show my stuff to these people only. I know my demographic for YouTube is mostly men between the ages of 25 and 55. It's like 96% men, 4% women. We're working to grow that. But if I say something like, all right, bro, most of you people relate to me because most of my audience are men. That don't mean I'm getting rid of the women. I just got to find a way to include them in this industry because they exist in this industry and I have to do more to speak to them. You know what I mean? So it's just about learning what your niche is and how and who works in that area, who works in that market, who works in that demographic. And once you peel back 3 layers on what your niche is, you'll know who your audience is. And then you can go right at them. You know, if you're interested in golf, I'm going to make sure that under Facebook, when I create an ad, it's for people who are interested in golf. If you're a wedding photographer, I can go after anybody who's recently engaged. You may want to do divorce pictures. I can go after anybody that's recently divorced. Or post their relationship status to it's complicated. It's a lot of ways to do it. Just like if I was in fitness, I'm going to go after people who made resolutions about losing weight in January 1st. I'm going to send them all the gym advertisements I can. So that's just something you can do, you know. Hey, Locke, how do you get your price structure down? Again, I talked about that a little earlier. It's a little difficult based on your location, what you do. There's going to be information in the master course to talk about how to build it because I can't, like I said earlier, I don't want to BS you and say, just do this. My personal way of doing it is a base price plus an hourly. That's how I like to do it. What does it cost me to get out of my bed to show up at your event? If I got me and the crew, it may cost, let's say for numbers, $1,000 for the first hour, $250 for each additional hour. That's just for the video portion. There will be a different price for editing. That way, if somebody say, I got footage, we just need editing. Cool. How long do you want? 3 minutes? Okay. First minute is $500. Each additional minute is $100. Your price is $700. Now, if you want to add royalty-free music, those are things I'm itemizing. You want to add custom color grading. You want to add custom graphics. Boom, boom, boom. And then now you have the price. That is the short version of it. Full version will be coming with the master course. Let's see. I love First 48, by the way. I know some people that was on both sides of the law on that one. Peyton, I graduated from film school in about 70, or I'm graduating from film school in about 70 days. What do you recommend I do with my first few clients? I'm in video marketing niche. I recommend you go create a portfolio that's dope. You go out and try to find some people that you can create and build your brand with, and go through every step of the process and learning it. Sometimes you may come up with stuff like, gosh, I didn't think about that. You know what I mean? So you need to build the business side. You need to build the processes and system side of your brand when working with these clients. Don't just use your first few portfolio clients to just get good images. You can get so much more out of it than just good images. You can maybe try to create a form that they fill out when they want to get video from you to see if it's asking the right questions. You may want to see how they feel about your business card. You may want to see how they feel about working with your brand. What questions do they have? And note those questions, because you may have every client ask those questions. And that's a question you can take and put it on your website and answer it before they even ask it to overcome more objections so that they'll do business with you. Trust me, it's a lot to learn from new clients. Real quick, let me go back to one of the questions because somebody asked a good question. Can you set up a photography business with just $1,000 for equipment needed? If you had to do it all over again and didn't have a lot of money, what would you do? I don't want to be in the hole for a lot of money as I'm developing my business. I would, man, it's tough for $1,000. $2,000 maybe. $1,000 is tough because you can't get a decent body. You could. Any DSLR, it's tough for $1,000, bro. Because you're going to spend $300, $400, $500, $600 in lights. $2,000 is easy. $1,000 is rough. A good camera body will cost you $1,000. to do just photography, maybe you can get one of the Canon EOS Rs. I think they were on sale for like $1,000, but that leaves you with no lights. Maybe you can start with a T2i. Get a used T2i, T3i, start there. Get you a 50 millimeter 1.8, fantastic plastic for $100. That should be your first lens. If you're doing like headshots, and then go buy strobes with the rest. Go buy some used aftermarket Alien Bs. It's the only time I'm gonna ever tell you to buy Alien Bs, because they're like, my granddad used them, but that's what I would do for under $1,000. Under $1,000 is tricky, I'm not gonna lie. Can I use, Ross asks, can I use name brands such as Nike, Harley Davidson, etc. to make mock commercials to build my demo reel without getting into legal problems? Okay. I'm going to say no, right? You can use mock videos or mock photography on social media because brands are okay with you using it for artistic purposes and you're leaving their brand in a good light, right? Just like I can talk about how I love ESPN and post a picture of ESPN, but if I badmouth it, it becomes a problem. However, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're completely profiting off of their likeness or their brand as if you've worked with them. You want to create something that they think is dope, that they share. You don't want to create it for yourself to go and spend marketing money on to push as if you've done it for them, right? So as an art, as art, I can create images around Coca-Cola. I don't want to advertise that I've worked with Coca-Cola. Those are two different things, two different ball games. And that's why it works on Instagram and not on your website. Because if it's on Instagram and Coca-Cola thinks it's dope, they'll reshare it and that will bring you business. But you don't want to spend $1,000 pushing a commercial for Pepsi you've never done. That's not a good look. Is it realistic to want to be a movie director right now, not working in the film industry at the moment? Ankar asks, heck yeah, I want to be a movie director. I'm not going through Hollywood for what? Hollywood's bored right now. They're scared to spend money on stuff that's not a prequel, sequel, or spinoff. You don't need them anymore. I don't even do film. I won't do a film festival no more. For what? So I can spend money for 300 people to see my movie and 10 of them to tell me it's dope and give me a sticker or a trophy. And if Lionsgate come up and want to buy it, I got to split money with them? No, they earn rights. They get rights to your movie when you do that. For what? When I can create an audience on YouTube and go directly to my people. Why would I go through? That's an old method. That's an old way of thinking. And that's just my opinion. You may disagree and that's cool. I'm not going the film festival route. I'm going the YouTube route. Because if it's hot, if it's dope, if people like it, YouTube is all you need. And I'm instantly making money off ad revenue. I'm getting out there. And I see more shows get picked up from YouTube web series than I do from film festivals. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of movies got picked up from film festivals, but they probably did 12 of them to get listed, to get out there. I'll put my movie. You're going to spend $200, $300, $400, $500 to enter a film festival. Let's say you enter 5 film festivals. You pay $2,000 to enter 5 film festivals. I can put my movie on YouTube, create a trailer, spend $2,000 in advertising to get the trailer in front of people, and the movie can get 1 million views, and I'll make a ton of money. And people know me, and I control my rights to everything. I don't got to split it, share it with nobody. It's mine. I own it. I have the equity in it. I don't got to worry about nobody. So if Lionsgate want to come to me about my movie that they want to do a movie on, they going to cut me a check. You know who did this? Tyler Perry did this. That's why he's wealthy and not rich. That's why he owns equity in every single character he's ever developed. That's why he's building studios, and actors who've been acting for 20 years on way bigger roles are still trying to get acting jobs. And he's creating movies. Own your own equity. I'm not giving it to nobody else. That happened in the music industry where people signed all this great talent and they had hits, and this talent got no money for it. And some old guy sitting somewhere still collecting checks on music that, you know, a group may have done in the 80s, and the group is broke, torn like crazy. And this old guy you've never heard of is still getting checks rolling in, giving them pennies. Because you don't need a record label anymore. You can reach the world via the internet. I'm not going through a middleman. I'll put in that work. I'll put my own money up. That's just me. Some won't agree. That's just my way of thinking. Panasonic GH4 or Sony A6300 for wedding. I'm going A6300. Autofocus. It ain't the best, but it's better than a GH4, and it's smaller. Hey, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. Is it Gal? Go? I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate your super chat. Man, y'all don't understand how the love, bro. I love it. Danny said, I'm in Austin. Let me come up to Dallas and be a slave and learn from you, bro. Man, I get a lot of that. Workshops may be in the future. We're gonna see how this YouTube thing roll out. That's just my opinion. Do I use a CRM to invoice and keep track of clients? Do you have Okay, let's talk about that. Terrence, that's a good question. Do I got a secretary type person to help me handle the influx of clients? Do I use a producer? Okay, CRM, I personally like to use Squarespace, just my thing. I like it. But I use a company called Prequalifying, and the link it'll probably be in this description. It'll be in other descriptions. I'm gonna tell you why I like Prequalifying, and I'm gonna have a video coming out on how to work with them soon because I'm trying to work something out with them. There's brands that I use, and before I advertise with them or advertise them, I like to make sure that they're watching. Maybe they're helping out the channel or something. I don't want to just make other people rich, even though I use them. I like to work out something with them if possible to support the channel because this stuff ain't cheap. It costs money. But what I like about Prequalify is when I create a proposal and I send it to someone, I can see what page they're on. I know that they got it. I know that they opened it. I know what page they're looking on and how long they're on it. Are they stuck on the budget page for 20 minutes? Or are they looking through the contract? Like, I know what they're doing. That's important to helping me in the future. And sometimes when I get clients that pop open and they're looking at a contract, there's no better time to give them a ring. Hey, we sent over the contract. Just want to know if you've seen it. I know it's in front of them right then and there. Got any questions? I get their butt every time. So I like Prequalify for that reason. And because of that, you overcome any objections they have immediately while they're watching it. So you can help them. Well, just the budget is, you can talk to them right then and there, and they can't sleep on it and forget why they don't want to do business with you or why they don't want to move forward with you. You got them right then and there. So I like Prequalify for that reason. It's like $20 a month. Best money I ever spent. Ivan said, I'm calling you the Godfather from now on. Deal with it. I'll take that. I have an EOS R for wedding video photography. Would you use it for wedding videography? Yeah. Yo, I'm liking what Canon is doing with mirrorless. I'm not opposed to going back to Canon if they bringing it. I just got to see what Sony's doing first. Like Sony is my current girlfriend on the photography side. And if Canon is just making me a better offer, babe, this ain't gonna work out. I'm gonna need you to come out with that A7S 3 and 4. I'm gonna need you to do something, but Canon is over here making me sandwiches and stuff, so I'm about to go over here. So I'm not. When it comes to gear, I'm not loyal. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't loyal. A lot of people loyal to stuff they shouldn't even be loyal to. A lot of people still claiming streets they rented houses on as kids. You really claiming that street? Your mama didn't even own that house. The landlord didn't even like her, and you repping that street. What is wrong with you, guy? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. What stage, now asks, what stage should you focus on building your logo, and what's your view on placing your logo on your work? Depends on what type of work you're doing. If you're doing weddings, yeah, it works in weddings. Corporate videos and photos, nope. You should start building your logo as soon as you find out what your 3 niches are, because your logo should incorporate that. If you're a doggy photographer, you may want to get a dog in the logo somewhere. Don't listen. Everybody outside of wedding photography, listen to me. Do not go with the cursive name. People don't even notice it no more. It just blends in. Don't go with just a squiggly dope photos by. Come up with a company name. If you haven't come up with a name, try not to be John's Photography. I've explained it before. I'm going to explain it again. With John's Photography, people are going to expect John every time. You may get to be 60. You may want to send somebody else. Think big with your business. Somebody else may go out there and take them pictures for you. It may not be you every time. Or what if you want to book something on the same date, 2 jobs on the same date? You can just give them a shirt. You do this job, I'm going to do this job. You made double the money in the same time. So that's why brand is so important. Joshua, good looking out on the super chat. Good looking out on the super chat. He said, my fine art niche is street photography. Hard to monetize. It is. Portfolio solid, but I'm an artist. Artists are not built to fully be businessmen. Way to hire an agent, a mediator, now for assignments. Street photography is rough, bro. I wish I can tell you. You know what's dope with street photography? You know how you can make money on street photography? Incorporating it with product photography. Put a Coke in their hand. Because now you're a lifestyle photographer. So street photography in its natural, true, candid form, every now and then you hear about selling in like art forms and galleries and stuff like that, but tweak it a little bit. Listen, you can still have fun with it. You just got to find a way to monetize it, right? I like shooting short films. That is, if I can do just that, I'll do it. I got to find a way to monetize it, right? So I can make money off these short films that I'm spending thousands on out of my pocket to shoot because I love shooting them. YouTube gives me a way to do that. So you just got to find a way to monetize what you love. And then you never work a day in your life. You're just doing what you love to do. I can talk about this crap all day. My friends are tired of hearing about all the stuff y'all happy to hear about because I talk about it. I call my mama up and talk to her about it. So it's just about monetizing what you love to do. Street photography is tough. It's tough to monetize. But again, just with one little tweak, it becomes lifestyle photography. And another little tweak, you just come product photography that's based off, lifestyle photography. So just tweak it a little bit. Tweak it so you can make some money off of it. As far as the agents and all of that stuff, bro, when you start popping, you're going to be turning agents down. When people can find a way to make money off you, they'll be happy to come work with you. But you got to find a way to make money off you first. And then they'll be knocking. Mine Eyes Productions, good looking out. Good looking out. I really appreciate you. Favorite chapter from Personal MBA. I read it about 1.5 years ago. My favorite chapter is, I don't know what chapter it is, but it was the one where he really realized that getting an MBA was a waste of money. Like when he started evaluating, like, I'm about to spend all this money to go do something, or is it just worth me going to get the experience? And he realized that he was putting himself in debt for nothing. That was I think it's like the first or second chapter. That was a mind opener because I was thinking about, should I go get my MBA? But and he was talking about how things that are taught in college are usually 4 to 6 years behind because it takes time to be evaluated, written, published. That book got to get sold to that college, then they start teaching it. By then, and we move so fast, by then it's just old news. A to Z process for a business commercial project. Jordan, that's a lot for a quick question. Man, I'm gonna have to refer you. It's nothing I can answer in 30 seconds, bro. I can't answer it. It'll be another 12 hours on this video. For a business commercial project. Again, also that's kind of a vague question. I need more details on what type of commercial, what type of business. Are we shooting a commercial for a business? Is it a commercial for your business? Are we doing communication videos for a business? Like, what? I need a little more, meat with that. But it's a lot in the process. Let's see. Let me ask you another question real quick. How do you get out of the introvert box and get in the extrovert mood to gain business? You either A, hire somebody to do it for you, or B, listen, when I was in photography class in the military, they made it clear that the most important tool in your bag is your personality. Period. If you're a good photographer and you can talk to people, that camera will take you places bro, that camera will take you places the average person will never see. That camera will take you behind ropes and behind curtains and backstage, and that camera will take you places the average person they can't go. But you got to have a personality to go with it. If you don't have a personality to go with it, it's going to be difficult. That's something you may just have to work on. You may just have to get in the mirror and talk. You may have to practice with your friends and your family. But you got to have a personality to go with that camera, because your ability to make people feel comfortable will show in your work. I am notorious for starting a conversation with a nervous person. Once I get my camera set up, I cut my red light off so they can't see it. I'll hit record and I'll ask them about a football game, or I'll look at what they're into. Maybe on their desk they got something. They got a trophy, a hockey trophy, and I'll talk to them about hockey. And we've been and chopped it up. And, my team is the Red Wings. I'm from Detroit, blah, 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 blah. So tell me about your business. And we go right into the questions. And they're talking, no, we're done. Wait, that was it? Yep. Warmed you up. Got the questions. We're done. Now their footage looks perfect. Because once they realize you're recording, they're like, I enjoy doing like, I didn't come here for that. So personality is everything. Work on that. It'll get you places. Let's see. How do you pre-qualify customers before you learn about budget matrix? By having set prices, by setting their expectations beforehand, with quality, with value, with having my website. If you go to flashfilmmedia.com, I got big brands on there that I've worked with. If you ain't got deep pockets, it may scare you away. But if your pockets are okay, I may be able to provide, because of the value I provide, if people are like, dang, I can't afford you, heck yeah, let's do it. So you want to have a set price, you want to show value, and look, sometimes you got to disqualify people. Everybody can't work with you. Everybody can't buy a Mercedes. Everybody can't do it. That's okay. You got to say that's okay. Hey, this is what it would cost. When you're ready, come see me. I would be more than happy to help you. Or offer financing. If they really want it, they're going to get it. Listen, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to business, when it comes to life, people do what they want to do. Don't believe nothing else. A man with 3 jobs, 6 kids, a girlfriend, and a wife will find time to sneak across town to be with this other woman, if he want to do it. A woman will do the same thing. People do what they want to do. I don't accept excuses. Either I'm worth it or I'm not. Because I guarantee you, if you call your best friend right now that live across town and you say, hey, I just found $1 million. Man, I'm giving you 100,000. Come pick it up right now. They will drop their kids in the middle of the street to get that 100,000. But if you call them and tell them I got $20, they may be like, well, I get it next time I see you. People do what they want to do. The thing is how they value you. All you can work on is your value to that person, right? If they look at you like you're 100,000, they're gonna drive 10 hours to come pick that money up. If they look at you like you're 20, they just get it next time they see you. So you got to work on how you value your brand and how your brand shows value. That's the big thing that you need to worry about before you even step to a client or customer. Let's see. Matrix. Do I ask client about budget? Nope. I don't even care what your budget is. This is what my price is. Doing that makes you seem less shady. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what my price is. And they look at it like, oh, I don't have a budget. Stop. All right. See you later. I got to go find people who got budgets that can fit this. No disrespect, but a person who ain't there to buy will talk you to death. You got to make sure you're not wasting time with them, because that's labor time. A person they will talk you to death, bro. They will talk you to death. And that's cool, but it's business. I got to find buying clients, paying customers. We can talk about it later, but right now I got to go. I got kids to feed. No disrespect. Is documentary style promo videos for sports teams, small businesses, and creatives specific enough? It is, but your audience is too vague. Do one of those. Do one of them. Do documentary style videos for small businesses. And specify what exactly is documentary style. I've seen documentaries that were shot like movies. I've seen documentaries where they put GoPros on your head and you run around. Be more specific in your style. Definitely. There was a message. Best wireless audio kit. I can't even talk. Best wireless audio kit for client work. And what is this? Somebody said they're too afraid to ask the question. Shoot. Best audio kit depends on situation. I just reviewed the Rode Wireless Go. It's one of my favorite kits, especially for the price. I like it. That's just me. There are some drawbacks to it. If you're going to be recording longer than 4 hours, you don't want that kit. Ebony. Is self-tape auditions mixed with headshot photography a lucrative niche? And will it work without a studio? I'm a screenwriter, college student, need money. Yes, it will work without a studio. Go get you like a Westcott X-Drop background, a backdrop kit. Probably like $150. They're light, portable. You can pop them open and create a green screen or whatever color screen anywhere. I like them a lot. If you look on one of my Christmas videos for photography under $500, I think, or $100, I'll talk about it on that video. Headshots is the way to go. Auditions is not, because people who are trying to audition don't have a job. They don't have money. Those who have been successfully cast have got a check usually and they got money. I wouldn't do auditions. I just personally wouldn't do it. You can do it if it's your passion. Yeah. I would stick to headshots because people who have jobs want headshots. There are some people who don't have jobs who want headshots, but mostly people who have jobs want headshots. So if you're a college student and you need some money, that's gonna be your best bet to get it. And you can get portable flashes and that backdrop. And you can. I don't have a studio. For what? I work with clients in their space. I don't work with clients that need to come to my studio. We were thinking about doing it. Why spend $3,000 a month? For what? My niche is going to clients and working with corporate clients, and a convenience factor, a major convenience factor, and why we win a lot of jobs is because we have the ability to come to you, bring the van, set up, and shoot everything, and that's what customers want. That's what I found out people in my industry rather have than to drive everybody over to my studio for headshots. I can set up in your break room and take the best headshots you ever had, and you're not losing labor because people aren't leaving, the job to drive over here to take pictures. They can walk from their desk, take 15 minutes, and go right back to work. It works. Trust me. Alfred, the GOAT. Hey, man, I'm just doing my thing, man. I'm just having fun. I seen one that I wanted to answer. Hold on. Seen one that I wanted to answer. Somebody said I've been asking the same questions 50 ways and go for it. Yeah, now I got to make sure I see it. Do I think Boudoir photography is worth it? Yeah, girls pay a lot of money for that. It's difficult for a guy, though. It's easy for a woman to do it. It's difficult for a guy to do it. It's just one of those things that just is. They don't feel as comfortable with you as they do with females. If you're a female photographer, oh, man, go for it. Those are high-paying jobs. Definitely. Let me see. Wait, I have another question here. Marcus, he says, have multiple sites for your niche photography. Multiple wig sites, I'd say, yeah, it's cost to have multiple sites, but how can I put it? One site is going to confuse. You're going to lose more money than you're going to lose a lot of money having everything on one site. You got to have multiple sites, not multiple brands. But like I said, I have Flash Film Media, Flash Film Weddings, Flash Film Photo Booths, completely different sites. They were all square pages, but they were completely different sites. That's you have to separate them. Business took off. There's two things. Let me explain something to you. There's two things that created a turning point in business and my lifestyle and my pockets. Two things. One was I separated everything that I did and focused on three things. That is the number one thing. Number two is I created a dope portfolio for those three things. Those were two major turning points in my business career. Those are two things where I'm like, if you don't do nothing, do those. Those didn't change things by 3% or 5%. It changed things by 50%, by 70%. Having a dope website that was dumbed down to 3 things, and then having a video portfolio that talked to those people. That alone, if you take that information alone from me, it'll be more valuable than half the courses out here that you buy, because it's so important, and it's something that people just don't think about. They overlook that. And like I said in another video, that is why my course on creating a portfolio, that's why that was my first course and not a master course. That one course, I felt like if people got that course, it'll change their life enough to be like, okay, this dude know what he's talking about. Okay, this dude, I did what he say do. Business is coming in. This guy knows what he's talking about. That's why that was my first course, period. Because that course will change stuff. It'll change how you're viewed. It'll change, even if you're marketing and you get 100 people to your website, people start picking up that phone. That course is no joke. Devin Parker says, going to buy my first camera, been looking at the EOS R RP. Would it be smart? Do you think I should start off with a cheaper camera? Depends what you're trying to do. Those cameras are more photography heavy than video. They are video capable, but you can't go wrong with either one of those cameras. Would you start cheaper? You don't have to. If you can afford that, do it. You don't, but it depends what you're doing. If you're trying to do a lot of video, no. If you're trying to do photography, headshots, something like that, yeah, definitely. But I always tell people like this: 2 cameras. If you can get 2 cheap cameras over 1 expensive camera, do it for business purposes. Always do that. Question: is documentary style promo videos for sports? Wait, I think I answered that question already. Is documentary style promo videos for sports teams, small businesses, and creative artists specific enough? Specify what type of documentary style, because documentary is just a vague. Your site needs to go into what's special about documentary styles. You need to go into why you would want a documentary style video in any of these 3 areas. If you can properly educate clients on that, then it'll work. Definitely. Let's see. All right, Deep Web. I'm not going to repeat what you said, but I get it. Mr. 69420. Let's see. Do I use Google Ads? If so, how many keywords do I use? Keywords are tricky. I do use Google Ads. I am very specific on my keywords. I like long tailored keywords. Like who makes the best training videos in Dallas? I like stuff like that because it's very specific. And people who search for that usually ready to buy compared to people who searching for training videos. Do you want examples? Do you want to see other people's training videos? I don't know. I'm not about to pay for that. So yeah, I like long tailored ones. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up in a minute. Let me answer a few more questions that was posted on the website. When is it a good thing to, I'm trying to say it like you wrote it, to present your prices on a website and not private to your client? Where I live is not common practice among photographers. So I have what's called a price list. When you get a quote from me, it breaks down why the price is what it is, so that clients can add or take away, or they can come up with their own price and then get back to me. Hey, we're gonna need 3 hours of this, 2 hours of that. We're gonna need you to come back out on Tuesday and we see the price. I do it like that so that they will be able to have all the information they need and they don't feel like I'm just eyeballing them, sticking them for money. And I'm gonna tell you, when you present it that way, clients will then open up about their budget. Oh, our budget's $20,000. You may present something and they can break it down and see, we want to add a little bit more, or we're trying to get under this $20,000. They're more comfortable when they can see your price list and they don't feel like you're trying to just stick them. You're trying to get them for their paper. So they feel more comfortable that way. So that's a reason why you may want to open up. What's another question real quick? We're going to go in about 8 minutes. Is it mandatory to have all of your photography clients to sign a model release? How do you handle it if they're hesitant or unwilling? Also, you mentioned in the last video, once your portfolio is built, there's no need to take any more free work in order to keep fresh content and up-to-date portfolio. Does this all come from your paying clients? Okay, let's tackle the first one. Model releases are important when you plan on, I want to say for you, when you plan on using that footage for anything other than what they want you to use it for, right? So if you want to use it for your portfolio, model releases is good. However, in my initial contract, I already stated in my contract, when you do business with me, I have the right to use footage for YouTube, stock footage. That's just mandatory. You are accepting that. You know, and I've had companies that were hesitant about it. I can remove it. I've had companies that make me sign NDAs. There's companies that are big companies that I've worked for that I can't even talk about, that are household names, but I sign NDAs. And that's, you know, during those circumstances, I get it. You know, it's cool. They cut a big check though. So anybody that's hesitant on signing any type of contract, I'm hesitant on doing business with you. I got to protect me. And usually, unless they're shady, you know, companies have to have things looked over before they sign it. That's just business. They have a law department, a legal department that's going to look over your contract and make sure it's right for them. They don't want to sign something giving you the right to use, you know, Hewlett Packard's logo everywhere. They don't know what they're signing. So just to make sure, you know, but if it's that you're working with a person and they're hesitant, I'm hesitant. As far as once you get a portfolio, do you still shoot for free? Man, I may be out somewhere and be like, this is a dope location. I just like this location. I want to shoot for free. It just happens. A majority of everything you see on my page, I think everything you see on my page right now on Flash Phone Media is from paid clients. Definitely. Should you use QR codes on your business cards for your web address? I got a business card around here. Yes, I use QR codes on my business cards. It's not going to focus because I got autofocus off. See what y'all made me do? And then my, what's the name is slow. Wait, let's go back. Hold up. A little bit more. A little bit more. So I use QR codes on my business cards. I also got a thick business card. Remember I was talking about show value? I got a thick business card, and my business card is like this with my information. So I like having QR codes because now with every single phone, if you scan it, it will, it will take you to my website, and it'll take you to my portfolio. So that works for me. That's the goal of what I'm trying to do anyway, is get you to my website in front of a dope video that will make you want to buy with me. I'm doing everything I can to get you in front of my portfolio, because my portfolio is my sales rep. My website is my sales rep. And if they get you on the phone, they're going to close you. That's why it's important to have the dope website and that dope portfolio. That goes back to the course and why it was the first course. Because if I can get that video in front of you, it's game over. Either you can afford me or you can't. But the idea of whether or not you want to do business with me is out of the window once you see that video. Last question. I struggle with making efficient connection with potential clients. For instance, in meetings and cold calls, I seem to get the same response. Yeah, man, if we have something coming up, we'll get in contact. Even though I don't look for solutions or try to be less salesman-like, I know that I'll be overlooked by someone. They know when they actually do have something coming up. It seems like people I see have success, are deeply rooted in the industry, and already have the benefit of a lot of people, benefit of their people. My question is, how do I move past the cold call guy to their go-to video guy? All right, let's talk about that. So he's pretty much saying that he's just, people are like, yeah, okay, we'll get with you. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for calling. Yeah, we'll get with you. You have to do a better job at showing value. Again, that's something that changed with a dope portfolio. They never forgot me. So I would get their email information and I would send out an email. I would keep in contact maybe quarterly, send out an email. I would always include my portfolio. I would always include a link to that video because you never forgot it. Because if it blew your socks off, you remember me. You remember commercials from the Super Bowl right now because they were the great commercials. They were either really bad and you didn't remember them, or they were really good and you remember them. You didn't remember everything that was in between, even if you've seen that commercial before. You remember your favorite commercials. You know the words to them. Everybody can probably sing the J.G. Wentworth song. Everybody can probably sing, Mr. Clean, your jingle. Everybody can probably sing a ton of commercials you remember. You need to create that commercial for your brand. And if you're not doing that, you're failing yourself. Because you can't convince somebody that you want to shoot their commercial and your commercial's not dope. You're not cutting my head if your fade is messed up, bro. You're not working on my car if your car is trash. You're not washing my car if your car is dirty. You're not watching my kids if your kids is bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to your college if nobody is graduating. A lot of you are saying, hey, overlook my bad website, my bad portfolio, and let me shoot yours because I'm great at it. It don't work like that. You need to have the best commercial they ever seen. You need to your headshot need to be the dopest headshot they ever seen for them to want to do business with you. Y'all asking for people to spend money with you and you haven't invested in yourself to look like you're worth that money. You haven't invested in showing the value to the client so their socks are blown off. That's just how it works. If you're not serious about making sure your company looks dope to them, if your video don't make them want to do business with you, they don't feel like you're able to create a video that's going to make others want to do business with them. That's what a lot of people overlook. That's what a majority of people overlook. I had to look at my page and say, why would I do business with me? Because I got a camera? Because I shot for whoever? Why would I do business for me? Why would I do business with me? And I had to be real with myself. A lot of people just think that they can do it and expect the world to know at what level that they can perform at. It don't work like that. You got to show these people. You got to show these people what makes you dope. And if you don't show them what makes you dope, if you can't show them what makes you dope, there's no way you're going to be able to create something to show others what makes them dope. And people subconsciously know that. So that's why I'm always talking portfolio, because that's something that everybody who's like, how do I start? How do I be successful? They overlook it. You cannot sell commercials if you don't have a dope commercial. You cannot sell headshots if you don't have a dope headshot. I don't care what camera you're using. I don't care what price you do it at. People who lowball you, they're asking to spend less money to take a risk on your possibilities. Right? They're asking to say, at that price, it's the same reason you buy used cameras, right? Instead of paying full price for a new one. It got to be priced at a point where you like, I ain't got no warranty. I ain't got no return policy. It got to be at a point where I'm like, I'll take a risk. I'll take a risk to save $1,000. Maybe. It got a little scratch, a little dent. For $1,000, $1,500 off, I may take a risk with that camera. You want to be the camera brand new in the box with the commercial and people want to spend money for it. If you're not that, you're going to struggle. I wish I can tell you that it was some other magic bullet, some other BS crap you can do, but it boils down to the fact that a lot of you have abilities that you can't display well enough to make people want to spend money with you. You have abilities and you can't convince others about how great your abilities are, or at least what you think your abilities are. Don't nobody care what your abilities are if you can't demonstrate it. Don't nobody care about your recipes if you can't cook them. So that's what I want you to think about. You have to, if you selling content, you better have some dope ass content. Don't you come to me with no content that's not dope. Talking about you can make dope content. I don't believe you. And because I don't believe you, you're going to have to take a lot off that price to make me want to even try to see maybe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to risk my hard-earned money full price to find out. nah. But if you got a dope portfolio, take my money, please. Please take my money. So, that's something you gotta think about. Next live stream, I'm trying to think if I want to do every Wednesday night. I'm thinking about it. We're gonna see. That's another question before we get ready to go. Can you brand yourself as a director or films, music video, commercials, or should you make yourself into a different brand? Listen, that's too vague. I have my company of Flash Film Media, and I am a director. It's two different things. I will work on projects that's not created by my company if asked to. But my company has its own set of things. You know what I'm saying? So don't squish it all into one. A lot of Spike Lee is Spike Lee, and then he has 40 Acres and a Mule. It ain't everything mixed up all the time. Tyler Perry is Tyler Perry, and he has Tyler Perry Productions or Studios or whatever. So separate it. That's why, listen, look at every big company you know of. There's usually a tree under it of different brands to specifically deal with something, because people can't they don't want one thing to do everything. Most of every big brand you look at has a tree or something. If you look at how many things, like I always use Coke and Pepsi because everybody in every country everywhere can relate to that. Coca-Cola has so many different brands, it's not even funny. They got ones that specialize in just tea, 3 different water companies, like 2 different sports drinks. You couldn't just put Gatorade and Powerade together? Nope. Powerade is for budget-minded sports drinkers, and Gatorade is for those who have money for blah, blah, blah. And then they got G2, and bro, it's a reason why they do that. Years of research have shown that is the best way to do business. What do they say? A jack of all trades is an ace of none. I'll answer a few more, and then I am going to get up out of here. Let's see. Where do you go to get voiceovers for your promo videos? Really set it off. Fiverr. Yep. Fiverr. Voiceover. Let's talk about that. I feel sorry for my voiceover talents, because that is, if you read the book End of Jobs, it talks about industries that are going away, right? Industries that haven't changed in years that are going to wake up overnight and be gone. That's what happened to a cab driver, right? Cabs didn't change for 1920. You picked up the phone, you made a phone call, a cab came, dropped you off, you paid money. It didn't change since cars were invented. Wake up one day and there's this thing called Uber. Good night, cab drivers. It's a wrap. Lyft, gone. So industries where they don't have a lot of change are subject to change drastically overnight, right? That happened to photography with camera phones. For 60 years, you can go to a department store and get pictures taken. Camera phones come out, don't nobody care. So you have to be mobile and nimble and move. Voiceover is kind of one of those industries. What used to cost you $10,000 for some guy to come to some studio now can happen on a computer desk somewhere for $50. Need it in Spanish? Cool. We're going to send it to another guy and spend $20. Need it in Mandarin or whatever? The internet makes it easy to spend $100 and get voiceovers from anywhere. So I feel sorry for guys who are just doing voiceover, because I get tons of emails from people selling me their services, but I'm not paying $300 for a voiceover. I'm sorry. That's just the industry. All right. Somebody said something special about the live stream. Live streaming, I like the feedback from live streaming. I like the feedback. I like to hear, hear everything. What's my next big brand? Flash Film Academy. Flash Film Academy is taking over from Flash Film Media at some point. I just like helping people. I like seeing people grow. I like getting those dope emails about, hey man, I didn't even think about this. Now I know about it. I'm a better person. My kids went from Happy Meals to supersized Big Macs. I like that. That just does it for me. I feel like I've given back to the world. I like feeding ducks. That's just my thing. It's weird. I go get a loaf of bread and feed ducks. I just feel like I'm giving back. And this is like not feeding ducks, but this is like me giving back, helping people. Some people got their calling of, doing whatever. I just like helping people. If I can find a way to, monetize it and make it my only job, I will. I like movies. I like creating movies because they help people get away from life. It takes people away from the drama of their life and pulls them into a story where they can be in my world for a minute. It's like feeding ducks. I'm de-stressing you for the hour that you're watching a movie, and that's just what I like to do. Real quick, we are doing We are doing 25% off everything on the website. Definitely 25% off everything on the website. For a moment, I want to say promo code is going to be YTFAM 2020. I'll post that. Hold up. Just so you guys can see everything. So if you decide you want to get something, if you want to support the brand, if you want to help, whatever, I don't want to do that. So if you want to go ahead and do your thing, I'm going to post this as big as day right here on the screen. YTFAM 2020. And we're going to post that like that. That looks terrible. Where's my, I got to get used to working with this, but you guys get what I'm doing. YTFAM 2020 should be on the screen, big as day. Let me answer a few more questions and I'm out. Listen, I want to tell y'all this real quick. For the 272 of you who are watching, I want to tell y'all this. YouTube is rough. I want to create more videos where I'm talking about the industry. However, they don't rank well. YouTube doesn't fully support it. I had one peak and I was cool. I'm asking that you hit the share button. I'm asking that you go to your forums and your Facebook pages and your Reddit pages and posts and groups. And I'm asking that you share a video there and say, hey, if you need to know about some stuff, this is the guy to talk to. I'm asking all 273 of you. That's all you got to do to support. Just share it, talk about it. And that's it, man. I will keep giving you guys information that you can use. I will keep keeping it real with you. I will keep trying to answer as many questions as I can. Let me answer one more before I go. I'm late. I got to go. One last question, though. I like feeding ducks, man. That's my thing. I'm sorry. It said I'm not about to put a Fiverr voiceover on a high-dollar project. If I need specialized talent, I've done it before. You can get some dope voiceovers on Fiverr. I've had some Fiverr voiceovers on some Walmart commercial level stuff. Yeah, easily, too easy. Other than saving money to build that cushion, what advice would you give someone that's jumping into it, full time? I'm gonna answer that question, and I'm gonna answer the question about mind eyes. Money is tricky. Learn how to lighten up. Learn how to live with less. Learn how to shop at Walmart instead of shopping at the mall. Learn how to be light, pack light, until you get in a position where you can go back and splurge. Invest in marketing. Never stop investing in marketing. What you have that I didn't have was the understanding that how important it is to have a niche market. I didn't understand that. It took me years and thousands of dollars to figure that out. Once I figured it out, then I was good. That's what I'm giving you that I didn't have. Once I learned that, and once I knew who my audience was, and I can dedicate every part of my body and soul and brand to attracting that particular market, life changed. So continue to work on who your brand is built for and continue to get in front of those people, and you will never run out of clients. Monetizing Productions. What would you put a royalty clause in the contract if your client intends on selling video you created, and how would you know for sure if they sold it or not? I don't care if they sold it or not. If I find out about it, I'm getting paid. Straight up. The royalty clause would be mixed in with the rest of them. You know, if a client want to resell it, they have to tell you. That's a law. They got to tell you they want to resell it. They can't just say, I want to make it and just get. They got to tell you they want to resell it. If they don't, let it blow up. Let it make $1 million, then go get your money. When you use a sample and somebody hear that you sampled their song, they're not going to stop it from going up the charts. They're going to wait till it hit number one. Then they're going to come and get their money. That's the best way to do it. I'm not going to stop it. I'll give you an example of when that happened. Back in the day, you said Old Country Road music only cost $50, but yeah, his license didn't cover him making it a hit. His license didn't cover distribution. It only covers the right for you to use it. That producer, listen, when Old Country Road hit number one, that producer said, now you got to come talk to me. Now I get to control what you going to pay me, because you should have cashed me out before it blew. But now that I know it's big and my lawyers are saying that it's number one in the country and you made 1.2 million off of it, I won't have. That gives the power to the producer. I remember when a little hood song back in the day was Whistle While You Twerk by the Yin Yang Twins. Back in the day, they actually used the whistling sound from Disney. They used the real Whistle While You Twerk, or whatever it was. And Disney, big time Disney said, we ain't gonna say nothing till it blow. And that song blew up, and Disney said, pay us. So they had to go, they didn't have the money to pay Disney what they wanted. They had to go back and change the song midstream, like mid-high, and change the whistling sound. And they still had to pay Disney for the money that they had so far. But luckily they changed it and they still, recouped some money, but it was rough. It was rough. So yeah, let somebody steal your stuff. Sit back and wait. Let it blow up. Then get your money. Trust me. It's much better that way. All right, guys. I am getting ready to go. I will let you guys know what the next stream is. We're getting ready to launch some new things, so bear with me. We're going to try to do a lot more live streams. They're long and people don't usually watch them because they're like 2 hours long. I don't know how long this one is. They're like 2 hours long, but we're going to do a lot more live streaming because I like talking to you guys live. Even though I didn't get a chance to get to everything, I ask that you continue to hit that like button, continue to share it, continue to support the channel the best way you can. Again, courses are on sale. Whenever I do live videos, I usually put courses on sale. YT Fam 2020 gets you 25% off courses, contracts, site-wide. And I will see you guys in the next video. It's been fun. I'm going to post something asking for more questions. And I'll let you know when we do the next live one. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video.